the Mediterranean today. But that name is the end of a story that begins with a simple fact. Before trains, before cars, before anything with wheels could outrun a donkey, the sea was the fastest way to move goods, people and ideas. The first author to think of the Mediterranean as one central system was the 2nd century BC historian Polybius. Then, the geographer Strabo turns that insight into his worldview of the Mediterranean as a central sea, surrounded by a ring of land, surrounded by the Great Ocean. But he still wouldn't call it the Mediterranean. Then, over the next 2 centuries, Rome expands and solidifies its empire and begins naming the sea according to its worldview. And 2 names come to prominence. Mare Nostrum, RC, which appears from the late Republic once Rome controls the entire coastline around the Mediterranean, and then the more neutral geographical Mare Internum, the inner sea, picking up on this idea in Strabo of the central inner sea contrasting with the great outer ocean. But once the Roman world fractures from the 4th century, it's no longer our sea. The Roman Empire is split, the Vandals and the Goths are rising in the west. It's no longer the inner sea of a united Roman world. But people are still imagining it as the central sea where 3 continents meet. Centred now not necessarily on Rome, but as one axis of a 3-continent world, so the Mare Mediterranean rises, the sea in the middle of the lands. And by the 7th century, this 3-continent worldview is going onto maps and going onto the medieval curriculum, and from there, the name Mediterranean passes straight into the Romance languages, and then from French into English. So the name we use, whilst it is technically Latin, is not a Roman name. It's a product of many millennia. If you wanted to move anything through this part of the world before the invention of the car and the train, you moved it by sea, and this sea sat in the middle of the lands. Like and subscribe for more Roman and British history facts every week.